are still in prison in Guantanamo.
I got you.
Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. On this beautiful island, where the shore is shimmering, there is a nightmare upon us, a deep plague of conditions. A house of torture, of cruelty and pain, which every day brings a new every shame. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. Close Guantanamo.
Like there's a crowd. Yeah, I'm with these people. I'm just listening to what they have to say. Yeah, and everybody has their insurance to stand here. Nice one.
Violation of all conventions of war. We got to close Guantanamo. We got to spread out like we got to close Guantanamo. $2.7 million per payment, $454 million cost annually.
You just throw this other one away. You got so
without any need. Only making our longest more longer. Only inciting the hate to get stronger. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's all right, dear. Wow.
It's all good, Jerry. It's a good turnout. Yeah, shoot, 33 drive by. Something like that. You know, a lot of times I don't know. They saw us. Sometimes they'll snap a picture. I mean, even I learned respect for iPhones in this business. Those things have really, you might as well consider to hand out.
In fact, I think
I had a guy show me this week. They were professional reels from the early 50s. HL on communism and American schools.
The guy told me to kill them all, and then I had this discussion about how these people who died did nothing.
He had 3 of them. He was selling them.
Yeah, so I said, well, that guy did nothing.
I'm going to try to have him
Right, and I kept going on, like, they're being detained for nothing. They're not in charge of anything, and they're dead. And he goes, I got to put my girlfriend's thing.
These are professional. These are home movies. This is big. Yeah.
Where the shore
60 years in Czech
all right.
On the sidewalk.
a house of
Naughty. Warming.
sorry, I don't want to.
We've got the clothes
I got her on my backpack. I want your bag with me, son. Do you have one? Trying to get the piece on here.
violation of all human rights and violation of international law, in violation of all conventions of war.
Well, he didn't scare me. I scared him off.
We've got Guantanamo. We've got Guantanamo.
You got your shirt?
Yeah.
Give Okay, babe.
Just like I can just get used to this for my little wedding. I can use mine right now.
Oh, yeah, that wedding. I haven't heard back from her.
It's just like
Hi. Hi.
Hi. So where is that exactly, Pluto?
In that box over there.
Hey, can you hear me out there? Can you hear me in the back row?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
All right, how about the front row?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Carrie.
Listen, a little housekeeping here. If you're on this side
She's
of the
been out
line,
here
you're
since
encroaching.
the first time she ever came to
And
protest, she wasn't even
You can't do that unless
She was born at
you're
312, so
You were back
her
from
first,
part of the
her
United
very
States
first thing out
government. Then you
outside of the
encroach
She was born
anywhere,
at half pound. She was
anytime, any place.
I'm getting ready to cover you up,
What?
Lacey. You're going to get covered up.
No,
Just
no,
do me a favor.
no. Oh, you can't do
I'm
that.
Well,
You should know better.
I'm going to take her off.
All right, we're going to get started here, folks.
Open back on. To take baby off. Will you hold her
We've
for a
got
second?
this a beautiful day for a rally. The slogan today is "Close Guantanamo now." Can we hear it?
Yeah.
That was pretty weak. Let's do it again in unison.
Guantanamo now.
Oh, that's even worse. You want to put it to a two-part harmony. All right. Close Guantanamo now. Yes, right now. All right. These shirts that you have on that say "Close Gitmo," I'd like back along with the hoods. And I should tell you, the black hoods that are in that box have a, don't tell anybody this, it has a slit on one side. So if you need to look, could you come up here and demonstrate that, Amanda?
Yes.
Amanda is demonstrating. And see, okay, there she can see out, she can breathe.
And I
Now,
can breathe.
for effect, she can turn the whole thing around and make it look like she's really covered up there. And, oh, show the folks your baby.
And there's my baby.
Aw.
Let's hear for the baby.
The protesting baby.
The next generation. Okay. All right. We're going to have us an old-fashioned shit-kicking protest here with music and speakers and all kinds of stuff. We'll have an open mic a little later. Listen, in the bottom of that box, we have copies of the latest issue of the War Crimes Time. Mary Jane, could you dig one out there for us? In the bottom of the box. Also, we have flyers that we'd like to hand out to the public that really, really wants to know more about Guantanamo Bay, right? You want to hear all you can about Guantanamo Bay and why it should be closed down. All right, my name is Dave Lambert, proud to be a member of Veterans for Peace. Let's hear it for Veterans for Peace. We're here today to expose the continued illegal operation of the Guantanamo prison, which President Obama promised to close when he was campaigning. Are you with the NSA? Homeland Security? Oh, okay. Just last year, on this very day, he again said he was going to close it. And guess what? It still remains open. Does anybody out there have any idea how long Gitmo has been open as a prison? Okay, how many?
10.
10?
What?
Close? 12.
12. Oh,
12 years, the U.S. prison at Guantanamo received its first shipment of prisoners from Afghanistan and Pakistan on January the 11th, 2002. That's 12 years of torture and secrecy and 12 years of violations of our Constitution and of human rights that should be guaranteed to all of the Earth's citizens. Today, there are roughly 166 men still there. Pluto is holding a sign, by the way, of pictures of 8 men who have died since Guantanamo opened. Could you turn that around a little bit? You might want to get a shot. Oh, good.
How many have been cleared to be released?
There.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, this is Joanne Lingle with Christian Peacemaker Team and Code Pink up from Indianapolis. Let's hear for Joanne.
Welcome.
Let's hear it for you all.
Joanne mentioned that there have been a number of people that have been cleared for release for a number of years. So why haven't they been released?
Because we don't want them released. They might be terrorists.
Oh, they might be terrorists.
But after they've been in Guantanamo for 10 years, we are afraid that if they go home, that they will be so mad at us that they may decide to hurt us.
Doesn't that make sense? Yeah, they're going. So we should keep them in prison, because if we let them out, they're going to be so pissed off at us for holding them in captivity and torturing them for 10 or 12 years that they're going to listen. Who are these folks that are down there? We know their names and their ages, but are they really terrorists? It's doubtful. During the Bush administration, bounties. Everybody know what a bounty is? Anybody ever collected a bounty? A bounty on the coyote. Bounties were paid in the amount of $3,000 to $25,000 to anyone who would hand over a possible terror suspect, and during his administration, prisoners were waterboarded there. As I understand it, we don't waterboard anymore, as far as I know. However, more recently, when prisoners have dared to go on hunger strikes to call attention to the fact that they have been there for years with no charges, no trials, and no hope, the military authorities order that they be force-fed with tubes that are pushed through their noses into their stomach. How many people have had a hose pushed? Okay, let me see your hands. A hose pushed through your nose. Okay, feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, great.
Would you like to have that done again?
No.
All right.
Good peanut butter, not crunchy.
I've been too good.
It sucks. This is done after inmates refuse just a handful of it. Force feeding has been prohibited since the 1975 Declaration of Tokyo of the World Medical Association, provided that the prisoner is, quote, capable of forming an unimpaired and rational judgment. The Pentagon, however, ignores this and many other rulings and continues with force feedings very early in inmate hunger strikes. Listen, last week I called around. I called the White House. The president did not want to talk. Well, they didn't say he didn't want to talk to me. They said that if I really had to talk to him, I had to send him a letter requesting to talk to him. And then they'd see. Well, that seemed like too much trouble. So I was on their comment line for 15 minutes, gave that up. Then I called the State Department and wanted to know when they were going to close Guantanamo Bay. They referred me to the office of the closure of Guantanamo Bay. Can you believe that? They have an office for the closure of Guantanamo Bay. How the State Department.
Working in it?
What?
They have anybody working
Yes,
in it?
Good question. The fellow I asked to talk to, they said, had just stepped out. So I said, okay, they didn't have any information when they're going to close Gitmo. So I got the number of the public affairs office at Guantanamo. It's an international number, so you have to pay extra. So I called that number and talked to a fellow, I forgot his name, I have it written down. And I wanted to know if there were still force-feeding prisoners there. He said, we don't force-feed prisoners. He said, sometimes we intro-feed them. Anybody ever heard that term before? Intro-feed, it's a new word. Look it up. In 1984, George Orwell.
Okay.
We intro-feed detainees if they have lost too much weight and it's a danger to them. How many here have ever fasted for any reason at all? Okay, all right, quite a few of us. Well, these poor souls have been on a hunger fast for several months, and so what the Pentagon decided was we can't have people dying, any more people dying down there because they're not eating, so let's shove a hose down their nose. So they did. However, they're doing that after they've only missed a couple of meals, rather than, you know, a long-term political fast. All right.
What did he say?
Last year, some 75 or 80 inmates at Guantanamo went on hunger strikes. Some may still be refusing food and are being force-fed each and every day. Listen, we were going to demonstrate force feeding here today, but the person we had lined up to do it, we had a volunteer that agreed to be force fed, but the medical person couldn't make it. So I know that disappoints a lot of you folks that really, really wanted to see somebody force fed here. But make no mistake, Guantanamo is a grave stain on our nation's honor, a heinous violation of our Constitution and the UN Declaration of Human Rights. It's one of Al-Qaeda's best recruiting tools. We need to change this. We need to demand from our government leaders that they close Guantanamo now. Let's hear it.
Close Guantanamo now!
Again.
Close Guantanamo now!
One more time.
Close Guantanamo now!
All right. On these handouts, you have phone numbers on the Ahmad Hassan sheet. When you get home, or do it now with a cell phone, or wait till after the rally, make some phone calls and leave messages on the phones of Mr. Stutzman, Senator Coates, and Donnelly, and the White House if you can get through. All right. One more time. Close Guantanamo now! Close Guantanamo now! Close Guantanamo now! Oh, and by the way, while you're at it, tell them to return Guantanamo Bay to the Cubans. We stole that land from them 100 years ago. And it's damn time we return it to its rightful owner, right? Right. All right, how many Pete Seeger fans here today? Oh, you old people.
Yeah, we don't think so.
All right, well, it's been, how many remember his hit way back in the 60s, I think, Guantanamera. Remember that one? Well, we're going to hear it again, but the words are a little bit different. And feel free to join in the refrain.
I was like that. I was like,
shimmering sea. There is a nightmare upon us, a deep plague on our humanity, a house of torture, of cruelty and pain, which every day brings a USA shame. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. Close
illegal black hole to plead for their flight. Locked in indefinite detention, in violation of all human rights. In violation of international law. In violation of all conventions of war. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. Close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. $2.7 million for detaining. $454 million cost annually. Taxpayers built for the spending to see the war machine run without ending. Only making our longest war longer. Only inciting the hate to get stronger. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. Close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. Close Guantanamo. We've got to close Guantanamo. So brothers and sisters, we are here today inspired by the hope of freedom for the 155 men that are still imprisoned in Guantanamo.
All right. That was nice, wasn't it? Wasn't that nice?
That is nice.
Yeah, had you ever heard that song before?
Oh, yeah. I was raised in that.
Huh? Yeah. Okay, we got John Beams has to leave early.
John,
Step up here, John.
I saw you on a show way before the war. It was great. I saw you last week. And what broke my heart most is people in that room never rallied up.
Okay, let's talk about that later, okay? Yeah, we'll get that later. This is John Beams, who used to be a lawyer in a different life, but for the last, what, 35 years? Something like that. He and his partner, Beth Mertens, who's down there, have been running a place called Center for Nonviolence. How many people have heard of the Center for Nonviolence? Let me see your hands. Hear it. Yay! Okay, John Beams wants to say a few words.
Thank you, Dave. I think we all know that this cancer of what's happening at Guantanamo is a speck on a huge diseased horizon. They declared that we are a Christian nation, and they sent huge armies across the globe to hunt every cave and valley, every rock and hill, an enemy known as such only through gossip and rumor, to torture, beat, kill, incarcerate, so that our people will be safe. We are a Christian nation, they say, but we here must ask, what part of love thine enemies do you not understand?
That's right, yes.
We are an exceptional nation, they declared to us. And then they funded the largest system of mass incarceration the world has ever known.
Boo!
They put more black people in prison today than there were slaves in 1850. The new Jim Crow is the exceptionalism we show the world. We imprison more people in this country than Russia, China, North Korea combined.
We're number one.
In God we trust, they declared. But they made Guantanamo a symbol of our faith in prisons. 166 prisoners. Only one has been tried. offshore. No right to the mediating, civilizing influence of rational outside scrutiny. The world notices 70% of these are Middle Eastern and African people, subjected to solitary confinement, torture, anonymity, and murder. In God we trust, but we are afraid of these 166 men. We cannot bring them to the stateside prisons. We cannot bring them to trial. Everything would collapse. In God we trust. But don't make me attend our state political convention without my concealed weapons, just in case.
Just in case. Thank you, John.
Excellent.
Yes. Close Guantanamo now. Close Guantanamo now. Close Guantanamo now.
I was at
Oh, I remember you, but I forget your name.
Patty Hunt.
Oh, Patty. Yeah, Patty. Nice to see you again.
See you too. No. You should come on my show sometime. I have a show named Patty's Page.
Okay, I think you've got my email. jalingle@earthlink.net.
No, I'm gonna
Well,
have to.
I don't have a card with
Okay,
it.
I have something
But
here.
Dave has it. Yeah.
Did you send him a letter to say you wanted to talk?